So students, a computer is an electronic machine that works as per the instructions given by you. It can accept data as input, then manipulate the data according to the specified rules, which is your process, and then produces the result, that is the output, and then it saves the results for future use. This is the storage. And this series of input, process, output and storage is known as the IPO cycle or the information processing cycle. Now let's study some terms related to computer. So first term is data. What is data? Data is the collection of unorganized facts which can include words, numbers, images or sounds, and the computer manipulates this data, processes it and creates information. So data is unorganized facts, and when the data is organized after processing, it becomes information, like Ram, 2 mangoes. This doesn't make any sense. We cannot infer from these words, but when it is organized into a sentence like Ram bought 2 kgs of mangoes, then it is information. The next term is instructions. So instructions specify what must be done to the data. How the data is organized is with the help of instructions. So like this, like here 13, 15 and plus are written, and these 13, 15 and the symbol is a data because we cannot infer anything from this data. Now this must be added to get a total, so we have to process it, or we have to fill the correct instruction into the computer to get the information, like 13 plus 15 is equal to 28. So these collections of logically related instructions is called as a computer program. When these instructions are sequentially written, then they become a computer program. And the next term is processing. What is processing? Transforming of data into information is called processing. The main job of a computer is to process data, that is the input, into information, and it is carried out by the CPU, the central processing unit. Now the next term is information. Information is a processed data, organized. It is organized, it is meaningful and it is useful. And this is helpful to the user in making decisions. And the actions or decisions of the user are based on these informations. Now, who is a user? Any person who uses the computer is called as the user. Now, the hardware. What is hardware? All the parts of the computer that you can see and touch, like your keyboard, your monitor, your mouse, they are the hardware. So, all the physical and mechanical equipments that are attached together to make a computer system are called as the hardware. Next is your software. What is software? It is a set of instructions organized for a common purpose that tells the computer hardware what to do and how to perform a particular job. The software is the bridge between the user and the hardware. Now the next term is storage. Computer can store data for later use in appropriate storage devices. A computer has built-in memory called as the primary memory, where it stores data. It has secondary memory also, like in the form of removable devices like CDs, pen drives, etc. And they can also be used to store data, and whenever required we can retrieve the stored data. Now students, today in the age of electronic revolution, the computer has become an integral part of our life. We can say that computers have entered into each and every walk of our lives, either at home or at work or at school. Most of our daily activities either involve the use of computer or depend upon the information derived from it. Now, people use all types and sizes of computers for a variety of reasons and in a range of places. Some computers sit on the top of a desk, so they are called as desktop. Some computers sit on your lap, so they are called as laptop computers. And mobile computers and mobile devices are small enough to carry from one place to another. So let's see what are the different benefits of a computer. So first is at home. At home, people spend hours of their leisure time using a computer. They play games, listen to the music or radio broadcast, watch videos and movies. They can read books, magazines, they can share stories, photos and plan their vacations. Then in office, people use computers to create correspondence such as email messages, memos, letters, calculate payroll, track inventories and generate invoices. Now at school, teachers use computers to assist with classroom instructions. Students use computer to complete assignments, homework, research and even now studies are dependent on the computers. Then in bank, the authorized ATM machines all over the world, they all are regulated by computers. The customers can deposit and withdraw funds using the computers. At grocery stores, a computer is used to track the purchases, calculate the amount of money due, track the stock, etc. Then, most important, entertainment. Computer has become a great source of entertainment. You can play games, listen to music, watch a video or a movie, read a book, magazine, compose a video, photographs, plan vacations and many more things. And last but not the least, communication. People use computers as a source of communication. They text messages, voice chat, video calling. All these are important features of computers. A computer is a powerful and useful machine which works very fast. It also helps us to learn new techniques and skills that are very important part of today's digital world. So let's see what are the different features or characteristics of a computer. So the first quality or characteristic or feature of a computer is its speed. As you know, computer can work very fast. It takes only few seconds for calculations that we take hours to complete. You will be surprised to know that computer can perform millions of instructions and even more per second. Therefore, we determine the speed of computer in terms of microseconds or nanoseconds. What is microsecond? Microsecond is 10 to the power minus 6. And what is nanosecond? It is 10 to the power minus 9. So from this you can imagine how fast your computer performs work. And for example, if you mail a letter to a friend by postal service, he or she may receive it in few days. However, if you send an email, it will be received in only few seconds. So this is the speed of computer. The next feature is quality. The computer enables you to create high quality documents and drawings with such a precision, and using just few simple techniques you can create documents that look professional and exactly suited to your present task. So this was about quality. The next feature is reliability. A computer is reliable as it gives consistent results for similar set of data. That is, if you give some set of input any number of times, we will get the same result. The electronic components in modern computers are reliable because they have low failure rate. They do not fail, and the errors that occur in calculations or any other part of computer, it is because of human errors. Because often we enter wrong data or input is wrong, that is why the output that appears is wrong. Now the next quality of feature of a computer is the storage capability or memory. Computer has the power of storing any amount of information or data, and any information can be stored and recalled as long as you require it for any number of years. It depends entirely upon you how much data you want to store in a computer and when to delete or retrieve this data. Now the next feature is versatility. And what is versatility means? What does versatility mean? It means the capacity to perform completely different type of works. You may use your computer to prepare payroll slips, to complete assignments, to complete calculation, mathematics, literature, in accounting, and it will give the result with same accuracy and speed. Now the next quality is consistency or diligence. A computer is free from tiredness. Computer never gets tired, never have lack of concentration like you, never gets fatigued. It can work for hours without creating any error. If millions of calculations are to be performed, a computer will perform every calculation with the same accuracy. And due to this capability, it overpowers the human being in routine type of work. Now, the next quality is communication. Today, most computers can communicate with other computers wirelessly, or if inside an office in a network, then it is wired. So they can communicate wirelessly also, and if wired, they can also communicate. Computers with this capability can share any of the 4 information processing cycle operations, like the input, they can share the input, they can share the process, the output, and the storage with other computer or other users. Now next is increased productivity. People who use computer for their work perform their work in a better, faster and efficient way, because we have seen that a computer works very fast, the quality of work which is produced is better, so the productivity of a person who is using computer increases. Next feature is decision making. Computers are used at various levels for decision making also, and the level of management, the nature of decision depends on the data or the analysis provided by the computers. Today, in essential business and governmental decisions, the managers need to take into account a variety of financial, geographical, logical and other factors, and they compile all this data on computers and then they conclude or make a decision. Next is faster communication speed. In past, it took a long time for any news or message to be sent. Now, with the help of internet and computers, news or messages are sent via email to friends and business partners quickly and efficiently. It saves time and it is economical also. Next is sharing information. The information can be shared by people all around the world with the help of a computer using the internet. And lastly, environment friendly. How computers are environment friendly? Because computers have reduced the use of paper, as the information can be stored in the computer system and it can be retrieved any number of times for any number of years. So it is environment friendly, and they have created an paperless environment. So these were the features or characteristics of computer. A computer can perform a number of functions, like it can create documents, perform calculations, it can assist in teaching, you can chat on a computer, you can design buildings, clothes and many other things on a computer, you can play games, can perform research, manage your time, you can learn on a computer like you are doing right now, you can buy and sell products on a computer, you can play music and videos on a computer, and you can do video conferencing on a computer. So it is a versatile device or versatile instrument which can help in almost all the fields. We have already studied about the IPO cycle, that is the information processing cycle, and now we know that a computer has four main jobs. It inputs data, then processes the data, displays the output and stores the output in a storage device. So first is it inputs data using the different input devices. Then this data is processed by the CPU or the brain of the computer, and then the processed information is displayed on the output device, the printer and the monitor, and then the processed information is stored in the storage devices, in the main memory and the different storage devices. So collectively these four jobs, the input, process, output and storage, is collectively called as the information processing cycle. So now the input devices, as we all know that input devices are used to enter data which is further processed. So there are a number of input devices like the keyboard, the mouse, the scanner which is of two types, the flatbed scanner and the handheld scanner. The barcode reader which is generally used in the shopping malls. the joystick, which is used to play games, the graphic tablet, which is also called as the digitizer, which has a stylus, the digital camera, the magnetic ink character recognition reader or the MICR reader, which is used to read magnetic characters on a check. Then we have a microphone, which is used to input sound. Now there are a number of output devices also, like your monitor, the printer and the speaker. Now the processing is done by the processing device. The CPU or the central processing unit is the processor, which is the main chip in the computer, which is used to process data. And what do you mean by processing? It means treating the data according to the instructions and changing it in the form of information. Now the different storage devices. What is a storage device? It enables you to store data and information. And the different storage devices are a hard disk. This is the main permanent storage area and it is inside the computer case. Second is the optical disk. It is a flat round disk made of plastic or metal, and it is written and read by a laser. It can be read-only type also, or it can be read-write type. That means, and there are different types of an optical disc, like a CD, which is your compact disc, a DVD, that is your digital versatile disc, and the latest, the Blu-ray disc, which is a new DVD format. The difference between a CD and a DVD is CD can hold up to 700 MBs of data, while a DVD can hold from 4.5 GBs to 700 GBs of data, and a Blu-ray disc has a capacity of 100 GBs. Now a flash drive, which we call it as a pen drive also. It is portable and lightweight, and it can be plugged in a USB port on a computer. The next storage device is a memory card. It is also a removable storage device, and it can be inserted and removed in a computer, mobile device or a card reader, and we require a memory card reader to transfer or store items from the memory card. This is a cloud storage device. Cloud storage is an internet service that provides storage facility to computer users. So these were the different storage devices. Most of us know how to use the computer, but we do not take proper care of our computer. And it is a common saying that take good care of your computer and it will take good care of you. And believe me students, it is not very difficult to keep your system healthy and in a good working condition. And some of the useful tips and preventive measures can keep your computer healthy, wealthy and wise. That means your computer will work faster, it will be long lasting and it will give optimal performance. And also by maintaining your computer properly, you can avoid expensive repairs. So let's see how can we maintain our computer properly. Now first of all, we have to keep our computer physically clean. That means dust should not settle on the system. Why? Because dust can slow the airflow inside the computer system and it can raise the computer temperature, which leads to permanent failure or loss of data. And secondly, dust collected on the monitor can cause eye strain, and especially when you are working for longer hours every day. So for cleaning the monitor, if you have a standard computer monitor, you can spray a glass cleaner. And if you have an LCD monitor, then wipe it with a dry cloth. But if the screen is still dirty, you can spray a cleaning liquid on a cloth and then you can wipe it with that cloth to remove dirt and smudge. Now for cleaning your system unit, wipe your system unit with a dry cloth every day, but if it is still dirty, you can spray the liquid, cleaning liquid on a cloth and then you can wipe it out. Now for cleaning the mouse, use a moist cotton cloth with rubbing liquid to clean the top and bottom of the mouse. And you can take a cotton bud and wipe the lens and LED on the back side of mouse. Another trick is you can place a mouse on a white sheet of paper, and then you can move the mouse back and forth, and the dirt which is inside the mouse will be removed out. So for cleaning the keyboard, because sometimes what happens, our keys do not work properly because the dirt gets stuck inside those keys. So first of all, unplug the keyboard from the USB port, then turn it upside down and gently shake. Some of the dirt will be removed from this process. Now if it is more dirty, you can use compressed air to clean between the keys. And for cleaning the top of the keys, you can take a cotton cloth, moist it with rubbing liquid, and you can use it for cleaning the top of the keys. Now, humanware. What is humanware? Humanware refers to the person who program, design or operate a computer. And we all know who is a user. A person who uses a computer is a user. And because of the conditions of working while sitting on a computer, what happens? The user can face a number of health related problems, so like headache, vision problem or wrist pain, etc. For this we have a separate branch called ergonomics. What is ergonomics? It is the study of people, their physical characteristics and the ways in which they function in relation to their working environment, the furnishings and machines they use. And the main goal of ergonomics is to incorporate comfort, efficiency and safety in the design of keyboards, computer desks, chairs, other things at workplace, so that the user faces lesser health issues due to their working environment. So these are different ergonomic devices which are developed for a better working environment for the humanware. Like this is a ergonomic keyboard, this is ergonomic mouse, which are designed to reduce the risk of wrist and hand injuries that result from prolonged use of a normal keyboard or a normal mouse. This keyboard include features like alternative keys and palm rest to minimize the strain while typing, and this is ergonomically designed mouse to support the palm. This is an ergonomic chair which is controlled at the back, and it has a armrest so that the user or the humanware feels comfortable, and it minimizes the damage caused due to their working environment or the different health issues. So we can avoid these health issues by following certain precautions, like first of all the monitor placement. the top edge of the monitor should be at the eye level or slightly lower than it. And for the wrist tray, we can keep your elbows leveled with the keyboard and your wrist straight and higher than your fingers. Your wrist should be higher than your fingers. And while using a mouse, move the mouse with your entire arm, not just with your wrist. Your entire arm should move while using the mouse and not just the wrist. As you can see here, your monitor, the top edge of monitor should be at the eye level or slightly lower, and your arm should be leveled. Your elbows should be leveled with the keyboard and your wrist should be straight and higher than your fingers. And your leg should be parallel to the floor. Your feet should be flat and you can use a footrest also. Your back should be straight. And the chair, you can use an ergonomic chair or a chair with a backrest and an armrest, because a contoured chair helps circulate blood more freely by relieving pressure on the legs. So this was about the posture, the monitor placement and the chair, your feet, so that you can avoid the health issues which arise due to long working hours in front of a computer system. So by following these precautions, we can reduce a number of health problems like headache, vision problem, wrist pain, etc. And by applying the principles of ergonomics to design a work area, we can maximize our comfort and safety. And there are a number of health issues which can be treated using these ergonomic principles, like the back pain can be reduced using an ergonomic chair. Similarly, there is a condition called as carpal tunnel syndrome. What is carpal tunnel syndrome? It is a rapidity stress injury which includes numbness, tingling and pain in the fingers. What is a rapidity stress injury? An injury that occurs in a part of body due to continuous stress on that part or on that area. So in this case, the person feels tingling and numbness and pain, severe pain in the fingers, and it affects people who type for long periods of time without taking break and without proper wrist support. And this condition can be minimized using an ergonomic keyboard. We can also promote good habits to ensure better health while working in front of computer, like we can go for a short walk at least once every hour, splash cold water on your face and rinse your eyes to reduce eye strain, take a break and look at natural colors, do not strain your eyes, and take a break, look at different objects which are at different distances. It is an exercise, focusing exercise for your eyes. Students, if your work area is comfortable, you will be more productive and you will enjoy your work more and you will remain healthy and happy. So this was all about the chapter.